So today my buddy Mike is coming in and we're going to help him go from couch to 100 miles between his nutrition, his training, his intra workout performance, supplements, peptides, you name it. We're gonna basically get him ready for 100 miles in 90 days. Most people train their whole life for something like this. Sometimes they train 6 months to a year. Mike's got 90 days to do it. All right, Mike, so tell me what you're trying to do.
So in May 16th, I'm gonna be running the Keys 100. So it's 103 miles. It's a straight run all the way through. So I just wanted to come to you for some help on nutrition, training, supplements, all that.
Nice. And you got Brady kind of backing you up on your training protocol. Brady McDonald's helping you with more like your running and your physical training, just so you
Yep. Brady is doing the running plan, which I sent to you, I believe, with the 4 days a week. And then based off that, we'll build the nutrition, the supplements, and the training around it, strength training.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, and the goal today is let's get a good baseline. This is something that we're going to have to adjust as you go. We'll get a good kind of general plan. It's probably more than what you thought we were going to do. And then eventually, like I said, we'll tweak it as we go, depending on how you're performing, your sleeping, your recovery, and et cetera. So 100 miles is not a light task. So we definitely need to make sure that one, you have enough food, your nutrition's on point, especially like pre-run, intra-run, when you get to the longer run, so you're not dying as far as just losing gas. We will use some cool stuff to kind of prep, with like baking soda and creatine and, other things to just make sure you buffer lactic acid. We're going to use some peptides to help you heal, stay healthy, immune response, which we'll talk about. The main thing is just to make sure that you're supporting what you're about to do and then replenishing what you do, especially with your training schedule. I saw it looking pretty intense, and that's not even, you're just getting started.
Right.
So kind of big picture, obviously we want to train consistently without breaking down, stay fueled and hydrated. That's going to be a big one, is just making sure you're getting electrolytes, get your hydration up, and then recover faster than all the other competitors.
Yep.
Do you have a goal as far as like, what do you do?
Yeah. Obviously my goal is to finish, but time wise, if I can get under 26 hours, I'm happy. Under 24 hours, I'm ecstatic.
Okay.
So 24 hours is like my goal in my head.
Yeah. Well, at least you don't have to like try to sleep like Brady did on the Ultra.
The 240.
Yeah.
Yeah. He told me, as far as like the crew stations, is not to sit ever.
Yeah.
So his thing is for me is to just keep going. So like go in, get the nutrition, eat quick, standing up. The only time I can sit is if I'm changing my socks and shoes. Besides that, he was like eat and go, because that would be the difference between 34 hours and 26 hours is the.
Well, didn't you do like a longer race before? And
33. We did the one that Brady, I ran with same race as Brady. And me and Jamie came out of the gate we're like, I'm going to keep up with him, kind of thing. So we hit the first 18 miles like hard, like we were running, and we were in fourth and he was in second. And then after mile 18, we crashed. Yeah. So
and then did you guys sit on the brakes?
Yeah, literally. We ended up getting a 33, and then by the last aid station, like 15 minutes feels like 30 seconds. Yeah. So like we sat down, I ate something, and then it was 15 minutes that went by like that. Yeah. So that's the point for him, I guess, being like, just keep moving.
Yeah. Let's start with kind of like your training split. I know, this might change as we go. For now, this is what you got set, and we're going to kind of lay around what you have set. Your week, Monday is going to be a rest or carb saturation day, which will break down. Like I want to carb you up on the day that you're off to kind of give you gas for the week, right? And we're going to still keep gas in through the week. As far as Tuesday goes, I know you plan that's going to be an easy run, possibly in the morning. And then we're going to work in some strength training. You're going to do more pull and posterior chain, which I laid out on here as we go through. You're going to get some aerobic base and some strength training. Wednesday, we're going to do a push quad strength type day, just to keep you strong and hopefully keep the lower body from getting injured. Thursday is going to be more your aerobic tempo run, I believe. And then Friday, we're going to do an upper body density day, which will give you a break from running to prepare for Saturday, which is going to be your long run. And then Sundays will be like a medium long run, more fatigue adaptation. So let's just kickstart with obviously your off day just because it flows with the week. You know, we're going to do a rest carb saturation day. So no running, no lifting. You can do mobility work. If you have like anything, you know, fatiguing you or having issues, you could go get some actual like soft tissue work. We'll just have to play it by ear as you go. You know, I got resources like Delaney Fortunato, which is amazing for like active release and dry needling. So if we have to kind of pull her off the bench to help out, we will. You know, but we're going to basically just mobility walking only. The goal is to refill glycogen. I'm going to actually saturate you. So I'm going to shoot, you know, average person, not active, about 2.42 grams per lean muscle tissue to try to saturate out. We're going to put you around 3 grams per lean and we'll adjust. So on that day, you're going to do about 530 grams of carbohydrates. We're going to split that over 6 meals.
See shit.
And we're going to do it over 6 meals. You're not going to eat any protein that day. You're not going to have any fat with those meals. So it's not going to be a lot. When you break it down per meal, you're about 90 grams of carbohydrates per meal, but that's going to be solely carbohydrate meals. The goal is to drive glycogen back into the muscle. I want to fill the gas tank up because you're about to deplete it during the week. So and then as we get closer, this will be a similar format to what we're going to do leading up into the race. I like to load, usually it takes a couple days to get someone glycogen loaded. So we'll probably do a saturation day, close to saturation, lightly less than saturation, because you'll probably be very not so active going into the race. I think that's a mistake a lot of people make. They're like, I'm carb loaded and I'm going to carb up for the race. And they have like one big meal right before and it's not enough time to fully set. Like I want to get the glycogen stores filled up so you have these reserve tanks that you're going to be able to use and that'll get you much further. And then obviously race day, we're going to have some stuff that you'll do like tailwinds along the way, things to just really kind of to just go. We'll have a full tank or just keep topping the tank off so you actually have stores to keep going. Usually on this day, I like to do easy digesting foods, white rice, potatoes, cream of rice-based cereals, rice cakes, honey, maple syrup. We're going to keep it low fat, minimal protein because that does slow down digestion. We're trying to like really just drive carbs in. No fiber, just because you're not going to want to eat that much food if you do. And then, like I said, the whole goal of that is just refill your tank for the week. Okay. When we get in Tuesday, most likely, unless the schedule changes, you'll probably do an AM easy run. I think that's like a 4 to 6 miles. I'd have to look back at it.
So right now it's 6 miles, I believe, is 4 to 6 miles, but each week is going to go up 10% week over week.
And we'll have to adjust definitely food as we go. But okay, so that'll be an easy run day early. And then later in the day, we're going to do a pull day. So I kind of laid it out here, posterior chain. I know on your run, I think you wanted like zone 2, probably 30 to 60 minutes. Obviously that's going to build aerobic base and it's going to help promote blood flow, like recovery. On your training, I do want it done in circuit work. So you're not spending hours in the gym. Sure. We're not going to do full blown workouts, but you know, on this day, I like doing giant sets or I call monster sets, where you're going to go back to back to back to back to back, rest maybe 2-3 minutes, and you'll do it again. I do want you training in hypertrophy, which is 8 to 12 rep range. I always say train for a perfect 10. That's just going to give you a good balance of strength and endurance. So on here, for example, and I'll go really quick through this, like rear deadlift or like a stiff leg deadlift. You might do a chest supported row for your back, a wide pull down, a 1-arm row of any sort, a reverse pec deck for rear delts, or, you know, you could do rear delt flies, incline curls, seated leg curl, hip thrusts. And then you do have your calves on this day. I want to get them out of the way. You're coming off a recovery day because I want you to be fresh like Saturday and Sunday for your longer run. You know, this is going to be more aerobic based and injury resistance. When you get into your Wednesday, you don't have any running on the schedule yet for that day. You're going to do a push/quad strength day. Similar format. We'll just run 1 greaser set and then maybe 2 to 3 workings. We'll probably start with just 2 working sets after you do the first rotations, like your warm up. Run 2 working sets through. If we need to take it up, we will. If not, we might just keep it. That'll be plenty. There's not going to be a ton of muscle building happen. We're just trying not to lose muscle as we go through this. For example, on this push day, incline barbell press, dumbbell flat press, shoulder press, lateral raises, overhead tricep, hack squats, leg press, and an extension. Okay. Once again, just trying to keep the lower body strong, especially because you're going to be taxing it quite a bit. Thursday is going to be aerobic tempo run. I think he wants zone 2, 3, probably 45 to 75 minutes, give or take. Obviously, that's going to adjust each week as you go. So, we're going to improve pacing and cardiac efficiency.
Cool.
Friday, we're going to do upper body density strength day. So no running that day. Circuit work again. We're just going to get the other things minus the legs. We already got them out of the way. Since you do got to run on Saturday, a pretty long run. That's more weighted dips, lateral raises, incline fly, wide cable. And you could swap anything as long as you know the movement. Just fine if you want to switch it up and do something different that hits the area you're trying to hit. Good. Cool. Overhead extension, easy curl, hammer curl, rope push downs. More structural balance, once again, injury prevention. Saturday's your long run. This is a key day for you because this is where you're going to start getting those miles in, probably 12 to 25 working up from there. Mental conditioning, fuel practicing as far as like having your drink starting to add some of the goos or some of the tailwinds as you go. It'll be more race simulation. Mm-hmm. And then Sunday's a medium to long run, 6 to 10 miles. That'll progress up, easy to moderate pace. We're going to adapt to the running fatigue that you had the previous day. Light carb still we'll have prior to. We'll still do replenishing posts. Okay. So good on schedule?
Good on schedule.
As far as, daily nutrition structure, this is where I'm going to write this out. We'll talk about some of the other cool things and supplements, but, are you going to train predominantly mornings, night? Just depends on schedule. I mean, the good thing is if it's going to be kind of when you can, which it sounds like when I was talking to you, I think it's going to be wherever you could get it in.
Yeah, it'll be more whenever I can get it in, but we can stick to like the plan and I'll be able to get it like 90% of the time. And then if, for example, if we were going to train on a morning and I had to do night, I'll flip the nutrition schedule around to match it.
So I'm going to jump then to this area because there's going to be a pretty staple pre-intra post regimen that you have, and you could bookend that wherever you train. So if you train morning, you already know what to do. Most of the time it's going to be your pre-drink if you're running. During the strength training days for now, I'm going to have you do that pre-drink during your training, just so you get acclimated to using that drink, comfortable, on that drink or the performance drink. If you're running about 30 to 45 minutes prior to, if you're strength training, which we have 3 days, I'm going to have you drink it through your sets. Do a set, take a sip, do a set. You're going to ration it from start to finish. We're just going to drive carbs back in. Because if I don't replenish your glycogen when you're actually physically strength training, now when you get to your runs, your gas tank's going to be somewhat empty. So this drink, I always say, 24, I like 32 ounces, 1 liter. One of the big things that Brady would tell you helped him out was the baking soda. It buffers lactic acid. That's going to come in crucial as you start getting some miles under your belt. But we're going to do 1 teaspoon in that drink. We'll do beta-alanine. I like 3 grams. I usually recommend True Nutrition. NutriCost makes a really good baking soda, supplemental baking soda. Beta-alanine.
So question. Like not baking soda from Publix.
Yeah, no, I don't want you to buy an Arm & Hammer baking soda. Just I want you to buy some supplemental. So NutriCost, it makes a really, really fine fats. It's still similar. It's going to buffer lactic acid, but I like to be able to know. Like sometimes the Arm & Hammer gets a little clumpy, and it tastes much, much worse. So when you're having to drink it all the time, you want your beverage to be okay. So we're gonna use the the NutriCost one. Beta-alanine, I like just buy it by the pound from True Nutrition. You can buy 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound. I want 3 grams. This is something that will actually kind of prevent lactic acid where it starts. It takes about a month to get into the system, so we'll start it now. So as things go, you're gonna kind of delay lactic acid, and then you're also going to buffer lactic acid with the baking soda, so that you're going to notice your endurance is going to go up quite a bit. You won't be as fatigued post-run or post-training. Creatine 5 grams, glutamine 5 grams, LMNT I like personally. I got a bunch of packets I'll give you. We'll use LMNT for that. And then when it comes to your carbohydrates, I want to use a combination of carbohydrates. I want to use a really, really fast carbohydrate, highly branching cyclic dextrin. It's a little better than waxy maize. True Nutrition, you can buy it by the pound, buy it unflavored because your electrolytes will flavor that. And then Carbolin with a K, make sure it's all American EFX. It's actually, they have a patent on it. It's a homopolysaccharide. It's a carbohydrate that shuttles fast like sugar, but it stays like a potato. So it's one of those things you could set it and it's going to like pick up later on. The faster carbs like waxy maize and dextrose or highly branched cyclic dextrin, that's a little bit quicker in and out. Whereas the Carbolin is going to kind of stay a little bit later in the game for you to be able to help you out. I do want a 50-50 blend. So 25, we'll start with 50 grams. We're going to definitely progress that up, but 25 grams the HBCD and 25 grams of the Carbolin. Okay. And I put it on here, carb split 50-50. No matter if I give you 100, we'll go 50-50. So purpose is going to delay fatigue, buffer lactic acid, maximize glycogen, improve hydration. So that drink is going to be pretty much done always before you run or during your physical strength training. And I kind of put it on here, as far as during race or race fueling. That's something that we'll get into. That's actually talking about like the longer runs, like I put on here like Brady Rec for carbo drink or we'll do the tailwind. So, but now let's go back to the nutrition. As far as like, what are you currently doing with your nutrition right now? What are you doing with your food?
So right now I eat pretty healthy. I just don't have like a timing structure. So main foods are going to be, I just do beef and rice.
Okay.
Like for meal prep for when I'm at work, like I'll cook a pound of ground beef and I'll put one of those minute bags of rice and I'll just crush that all day. But nothing too structured right now. And
what kind of quantities are you eating when you do eat that, like protein, carbs,
A pound of ground beef. And then...
Well, that's for the day?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the day. Okay. Usually I'll split it into 2 meals. I'll do that's like my lunch and my dinner.
Okay.
And then breakfast, I do eggs and pre-run.
You love eggs.
I do. I know I do love eggs. I do eggs.
I do.
Pre-run, when I long runs, my fuel is I'll do 2 pieces of sourdough toast, a banana, and honey.
So that's actually super important because some people don't like running with food. Some people can't run without food in their stomach. So I'm big into, let's not take you so far away from what you're comfortable doing or what you feel like you respond well with. We'll just kind of work around that. So,
and I do use the Carbolin as well.
Okay.
So I'll usually, like on like the Saturdays, if I have like 14 miles, I'll eat like 30-40 minutes before I run, and then I'll drink the Carbolin drink, and then I'll go run.
Yeah. Honestly, that'll be good. Probably we'll time that pre-meal about an hour. And then I'll have you start sip it about 45 minutes out. Just the goal is to sip it up till the time you leave. Okay. And like I said, we'll tweak it. If you notice something changes or you're not digesting, like just feedback it back and forth. We'll make those adjustments. As far as, the training time, once again, and I'm going to lay this out. I'm going to actually just write some notes here, and then we'll send you over like a more finite plan. Always that drink pre-run. Like you'll have your toast with your honey and everything. We'll have the drink pre, and then during. Right now, we're not going to really, for the lower runs, the smaller amount, we're not going to do any.
I don't do anything. Yeah, and I don't do water or nothing. And I just head it. Even up right now, even up as far as like 10 miles, 12 miles. I won't bring anything.
Yeah, but usually over 12, you definitely want to start. Yeah. We'll start working like the tailwinds periodically as you go. What we'll have to talk about too is like aid station, because I think you're able to leave some stuff, correct?
So what we're doing for the race is I have the crew like Jamie, Ryan, Devin. They're all coming. We're going to rent a Sprinter van, and then they'll have access. There's not traditional aid stations here since it's just straight down the keys. Like it's an active road. So they'll have access to me like every few miles. There'll be like the spot where they can pull in and pull over. Yeah. So I'll have pretty easy access to any nutrition, any
pre-make some drinks that have similar concoction, and that'll just so you're not constantly doing tailwinds.
Yep. And I'll have the I forgot, it starts with an S, the vest. It's like a Sonora vest.
Okay.
The one that Brady has.
Yeah, that you're able to carry.
So I'll have a 12-liter pack in there for regular water, and then what he was saying was like I ordered those little plastic bottles to go in the front, like for electrolytes or whatever else I need.
Yeah, I'll probably make it simple, especially that day. You'll have like drinks that are already measured out from the carbs to the electrolytes, the baking soda, the baking.
Yeah, that way. So like the Drew can just hand it. Yeah. Because like that would be the goal. Like if we can do it, or like at 20 miles, take this, or if I'm feeling this, take this. I can just have Jamie drop it to me at any point.
Okay. And you weigh about what, not 190, I think you were saying right now?
Yeah.
90 something.
Yeah, I'm down about already 10 pounds and about 192, I would say.
Right. Yeah. So once we do your intra, and let's not even talk about strength training right now, because we just know that drink is going to go intra workout. You'll still have your meal that you do. Post, I usually like to get in some quick carbohydrates once you get done running. So I have like post run on here actually. We put on here. So a lot of times within 30 minutes post run, like try to do like a whey or a hydrolyzed isolate shake, some fast carbs, which could be the Carbolin or HBCD. I would say HBCD, creatine, glutamine, a packet of LMNT. And then usually within a 2-hour period, we'll have our post meal that's going to have a certain amount of protein, carbohydrates, healthy fats. You could do you do collagen?
No, not right now.
Yeah, I want to add, I'll tell you, like some people say it's great. Some people say it doesn't do crap. I do like collagen protein. We'll probably start working some of that in there. I do notice personally, like joints do feel better when I do it versus not do it. So I like Sports Research makes a really good one, and it doesn't taste like anything. Okay, so then what we'll do is on most of the meals we're going to have them pretty balanced: protein, carbs, fats. The only thing is, depending on if you're training early, we might not do a lot of carbohydrates late, because I know you still want to probably, if I could drop some fat during this process, get you running lighter.
My goal, I think, and let me know what you think, but probably to race day be at like 185.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we'll carb load the 3 days before, so maybe not start it.
You're going to put on 5-6 pounds from the load, but yeah. I think, one of the good rule of thumbs too is you'll still have your immediate post run or strength training meal. You'll have within an hour and a half, 2 hours, your regular meal. And then outside of that, I'd like you to eat about every 3 hours. Okay. And then what I'll do is I'll break down. It might be something so simple as 50 grams of protein, 50 grams of carbs, and, probably like 10 or 15 grams of a healthy fat. Definitely want to keep the fats up with you during this process. And then, like I said, the only thing we might adjust is if you're starting to train later in the day, I'll still make sure we replenish glycogen, but we'll adjust it as we go. So it's hard to give you a definitive plan right now until we know like when are you going to be getting your training in, and I could adjust those as we go, which will be simple. Obviously keep trying to hydrate daily. I would say use just a packet of LMNT.
Another thing I can say too is to make it easier, I'll stick to running in the morning. So especially since it's 4 days right now. I can, because the 6 miles and the 4 miles, I'll have no problem getting in before work. And then the other 2 are weekends anyway.
Well, it's kind of nice. I'm like a creature of habit. If you could have you kind of have your regimen into it.
That's what I'm thinking
I think
too.
it would be better. And then the only day you have to train right now is going to be Tuesday afternoon or evening.
Yeah.
But that's.
Which is fine. So let's stick to mornings and then.
And just so you know, on that day, I still want you to do your intra. You're going to have your pre-run drink, but also during your strength training, you're going to drink that drink during your strength training session. So your 3 strength training sessions, we're going to have that intra concoction that you're going to use.
So you're saying on the Tuesdays where I run in the morning workout at night, do the drink for the
workout. We'll do it pre-run, and then that one, I want you to drink it while you're training.
Okay. Your
workout should take you maybe, if you're moving, like 30 minutes. In 35 minutes.
Snoop.
Yeah. It's because, you're very little rest time. We're going to just circuit it through. The only time you rest is in between the full set, the giant set.
Yep.
We'll do a 2 to 3 minute rest. The goal is, once again, minimum 1 warm up. I would say a greaser set just to get through the motions. The challenge with that is wherever you go to work out,
you're the worst.
People are taking your machines, So, but what I like to do too is, if you're trying to do a rear delt and the rear delt machine's taken, go grab a set of dumbbells and do your rear delt.
Right.
Just raise this.
Get the movement.
Unless
I'll be able to work through it.
What do you currently do as far as supplements right now? Like, what's in your supplement regimen?
Right now, I'm still taking the BPC oral, Sloop oral, 5-amino oral. Creatine pills though, so not the I do have the powder.
Yeah,
use already.
NutriCross.
I have the NutriCross one. Yeah, so I have NutriCross powder that's unopened, so I can just use that should I keep taking the pills every day?
Once you go to powder, you're gonna have powder in your drink, your powder. So like you'll get it a couple of times out. My goal is to get you like 10 to 20 grams of creatine per day, but usually in increments of 5.
Okay. So then right now, I guess supplements wise would only be Sloop, 5 amino M1Q, BPC, all oral pills, and then the low dose Cialis, the 5 milligrams.
Yeah, and we're actually going to keep a good chunk of that. I might, as we get closer, switch up a couple of things, which I'll talk to you about and say. So as far as creatine, keep it. Magnesium, if you're not doing magnesium, I want you to, we can do one of two things. Either you can do glycinate per your situation. I actually found a really good all magnesium blend that I've been using. I like it a lot. So I'll probably just send that over to you. And it's like, has every type of magnesium. I know a lot of people right now, it's like, take magnesium glycinate or take, basically magnesium oxide, and this one does better. They do kind of they all are the same.
But
but you know what? Just check the box and just take them all. So I have a product that has it all in one. Okay. Omegas, if you're not doing omegas like fish oil, I like 2 to 3 grams. Nordic Naturals is a great product. I'll send that over to you.
Does that one taste like fish?
No, it doesn't. And I'll tell you, just
some of them taste
keep it in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And then what happens with a lot of them when they're at room temp, sometimes your stomach acid they'll open quicker, and then you get the fish burps. I usually just keep it in the fridge, and it'll make it further down digestion. You don't get the burps. So, but that's going to definitely like help joints, lubricate joints. Vitamin D3, K2. I usually like Metagenics. I'll send you that one. Just make sure we're supporting your system, immune system, hormones. I mean, because you're going to be taxing yourself, and that's the thing I got to worry about, because you're natural, right? You're not on hormone therapy, and so a lot of times when you train super strenuous, your T level takes a beating, right? So we want to make sure that like the T level stays decent, you're recovering good enough. Zinc is another one. Since you're natty daddy, we're gonna put a good zinc supplement in there. Plus, it just keeps your immune system up. Probiotic, prebiotic. I'm a big fan of Seed. I've been using them since they launched. I just like to keep the gut microbiome good. If I keep your gut good and I keep inflammation down, systemic inflammation stays down, because you're going to be creating a lot of inflammation. So the goal is let's clear that. Collagen, I put on your SR on here. You could actually do it in your post-workout drink, or you can do it at nighttime. I usually do like a nighttime concoction. Vitamin C as well. Once again, just naturally supporting your immune system with those things. So we already talked about your pre-run drink or your intra workout drink. As far as, during race stuff, we're not even going to talk about the race right now. We just got to get there, right? But I do have it laid out, like what our targets will be every hour, what you're going to be shooting for, whether we're running tailwinds or we're running like the concoction. It's funny, like at first I was trying to get super finite with Brady. And then I started thinking, I'm like, there's no way, like I can't give him too many like blends. Obviously it would have been better that way, but then you just simplify it and just use it out.
So simplicity would be
essential amino acids and branch chain. I'm obviously EAs are the building block. Leucine, isoleucine, valine, glutamine. So we'll work some of those in. I have some.
I have some NutriCal CAAs.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, we're gonna use those up. Like I would do them during that intro drink that you have.
Okay.
I forgot to actually put them on there, so I'm glad you said that. Obviously, the purpose to prevent bonking, protect your muscle, cognition. Let's talk peptides, because one of the big ones. It's kind of like if I had to pick one, it would be oral BPC. I'm gonna have you run 500 micrograms morning and night. That's going to help your gut, your joint, inflammation, recovery, because you're going to be taxing the crap out of yourself. So we'll be taking oral BPC morning and night. I do want to get you on a growth hormone peptide. We're going to do ipamorelin with testosterone. Ipamorelin is going to be more sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep. Like we need to make sure we're sleeping so we're repairing and recovering.
Yep.
Really try to set your environment. And I know you're pretty good about this, but like turn the temperature down, like try not to have stims close to bed, which, if you're training in the evenings, try to tail back on that stims just so you're not messing up your sleep, because I'd rather you sleep better than have stims or train harder.
Right. And so do you prescribe to like no caffeine after 2?
It depends on how sensitive you are, but I would say like 2 to 4 o'clock if you're trying to go to bed by 10.
Okay.
So
10's the bedtime for.
But I'm going to kind of tell the pituitary to make more natural growth hormone Plus, that'll probably take a little bit of the taxing with the training. So if I could get your natural GH up, you're going to sleep better, deeper, repair. Testosterone is going to be more body composition, that mass reduction or visceral adipose tissue reduction. I do want to run, and we're going to strategically do this one, is an injectable BPC TB. You're going to say, well, why? I'm taking oral BPC. That's going to go through the gut. It's going to help gut junctions. It's going to kind of like lubricate and check all the boxes as far as like very slowly. But I want to keep the injectable BPC TB because you are going to probably tweak something. You are going to have overuse, especially of running. But what I will do it 3 nights a week. And if you have a specific area that's kind of bothering you, it's going to go into that soft tissue. And so we're not even going to let something come up. Like we're just going to stay on top of it. I'd rather be proactive for it. And MOTC, one of my favorites, mitochondrial endurance. You're going to notice like overall energy. You're going to see some lipolysis from this. I like 10 mgs a week. Personally, I will split it up 5 milligrams intramuscular twice a week. It's usually the best protocol for that.
What's lipolysis?
Well, fat loss or fat burning. So, I mean, I want to, some of these are goals. Let's get you leaner. Let's get you running as lean as possible, plus maintain lean muscle tissue. But you're going to see a lot more when it comes to like cellular energy or mitochondrial endurance. One of the things that a lot of people don't think about when they're training super hard is your immune system takes up, and that's kind of why I was talking about some of those oral supplements, but your immune system gets kind of wrecked. Yeah. And last thing you need is to get sick, you miss some training. So the goal is to just, let's regulate your immune system. I'm going to use thymosin alpha-1 with thymulin. So TA1, they get it kind of like a coach that basically tells your immune system to perform better. And then thymulin's kind of like almost like a tutor that teaches your immune system not to be under or over responsive. So we're going to just help regulate that immune response. And, or if you feel like you're coming down with something, you might even double up on that for a couple of days. So we just blow past it and not get sick. But that's immune regulation just from the strenuous training that taxes your immune system. We will keep an eye on your testosterone levels through this process. Hopefully some of the supplements should help. Fueling yourself is going to make a big difference. Sleeping is going to make a big difference. We talk about it all the time. Like, what can you do to naturally keep your testosterone up? But if we have to, we could use something like ACG or NCLO if it looks like it's taken a, once your mileage gets up. So you're good on most of those products. We'll still keep the sloop. I might at some point pull the sloop. 5-amino is fine because that's going to be more helping, ATP to the mitochondria, dropping in NMT. The BBC is going to be a staple through the entire way. Race week, we'll get to that when we get there. Your whole carb up, we'll have to do a separate. We'll talk about what their carb up looks like.
I'll even say when we did the carb load for the Diamondback Ultra, world of a difference. Like when I said we've made the first 18 before we gassed, like I've never been that energetic through 18 ever. Yeah. And then I hit a wall.
Well, it's kind of funny because, Brady's been doing stuff like this for a while, and it was like, I think a lot of people either overshoot or they just don't get enough. And at the same time, we'll make sure electrolytes, sodium, potassium is regulated. But he was like, man, I got to 100 and like normally I'm done. Yeah. I was like, holy cow, I can't believe I feel this good at 100, So we'll definitely we'll load up right so you have a full tank going. Once again, the goal is keep glycogen full, protect your joints and gut, mitochondrial output, which prevent CNS burnout, which happens to a lot of high endurance athletes. Goal is to improve your late race power where most people die off. We'll keep going. And the big one's accelerate recovery. So on here, this is kind of break down like things we got to keep on top of daily, making sure you're minimum getting your protein so you're not losing muscle tissue, your electrolytes, obviously peptides and sleep weekly. We're going to hit that saturation every single week. So we're not going to let your tank ever get completely empty. Strength training, which is going to help out. A lot of people are like, how does strength training help with my run? It does. Yeah. It just balances everything.
Yeah. Like I'm going to add also the other thing is for the strength training for Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. I know I have legs and core on Wednesday. Should I add core to any of those other days or just go heavy core on one day?
I would probably do, if you want, you could kind of split it up over Tuesday, Wednesday. I would say maybe you do an upper and a lower, and then maybe do your obliques. I wouldn't worry too much about that. You know, a lot of people, and I don't want you training it frequently. I mean, you're going to get a lot of core work just by running.
Yeah.
So I would say keep it to Tuesday, Wednesday with the main strength training days. And then the goal is the rest of the week outside of your upper body kind of workout. We'll just leave it to running.
Okay.
You know, obviously on your long runs, getting your pre-drink, your carbs afterwards, aminos, recovery, once it's sleep, nutrition, and your peptides, which is my favorite.
Yep.
And then, you know, the goal is not just to finish. Let's finish strong and let's see if we can't kind of, I mean, I know you wouldn't just finish, but.
I know. I told Brady, I was like, I'm gonna be coming for him at this race. So
I don't want it. No, I'm good. Like, I don't think my knees can handle it. This is at least the start point.
Yep.
We'll adjust it as we go. I will give you more specific timing of that, but it's going to be pretty simple. We're not going to go too far from what you're doing. Just key is making sure you're getting nutrients in at least every 3 hours. And then as long as we're bookending the training time, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like that's if I had to pick one place to optimize, if you had to optimize anywhere, whether you're a strength trainer or endurance athlete, pre, intra, post, what you do there will make a big difference.
Okay. Then my only question on all of this would be, obviously, you know, my history with a high hematocrit, so I should be still dumping every 60 days with all of this.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to ever get too low on your blood volume.
Yeah.
So let's just keep an eye on it.
Okay.
I would say, you know, if you're getting to where you're under 47, 48, we'll leave it be until it starts creaking.
Going up again. Okay.
So I'm curious to see what happens. I know you run higher. I can't remember. Do you have sleep apnea?
No.
All right. Yeah. So I mean,
I did the JAK2 test, you know, so I don't have the gene mutation either.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dump.
Because you might notice, like, as you oxygenate more, you're like from running and doing more of that type of stuff, it might not.
I'm gonna dump next week one time, and then we'll retest it because I know I was still a little high last time. I still owe a dump.
Yeah.
So I'll dump one more time before jumping on this, probably Monday, and then we'll go from there.
One other question: do you plan to eat vegetables?
Can.
Well, and I'm saying, do you perf?
Yeah, they're fine.
Like, I don't eat much vegetables.
I mean, I get like the freezer vegetables sometimes. Like,
Is that what I'm saying? If you don't, I mean, because you're gonna have a good amount of food and good amount of carbs. I would say if you not get like a good green supplement, I'll say plan to maybe like every night throw in like a greens powder in your nighttime.
Okay.
And then you'll be good there. Just so we're not having to like lack in phytonutrients. Your goal. So. Outside of that, man, I'll kind of lay this out more specific to you. And like I said, as long as we're bookending stuff, you're going to be good.
Sweet. No, thank you.
So
this is sick. This is perfect.
Cool.